What's going on at the FBI? Dio, you ask for miracles, I give you the FBI. Well, are there miracles needed over there? And do all of you love Die Hard as much as I do and as much as Clay does? Let's talk to Nicole Parker. She is formerly an FBI special agent of many, many years and a Fox News contributor. Nicole, great to have you back on.
Thank you so much. I always love to join y'all. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. She's a fellow Miamian, too, which is very exciting. Very exciting. Some people are saying, Nicole, one of the greatest places in America, Miami. We're loving it.
I'm very blessed. We're grateful.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. You get a little soft here, though, right? Like, because you can just walk around in flip-flops and a T-shirt all the time. I got to sometimes go up to places where they actually have to dress for the seasons now just to remember what it's like. So tell me this. First up here, something that I'm a little surprised at, and I'll just tell you this. I was on Fox yesterday, and they asked me, they asked me a couple things. But one of the things they asked, though, about was Director Patel and Deputy Director Bongino. I'm just going to say, Kash and Dan from here on out, just because that's how I think of them, and I'm going to mess up otherwise, right? But Kash and Dan are running the FBI. Your old outfit of many years, your career FBI agent. And I was saying, they asked me, they said, how do you think it's going with these two? And I said, look, I know both of these guys. I know that they're serious people and they're patriots and they're fighters and they're all on board with the Trump agenda. And I think they just should get what they're asking for, which is more time to make the reforms needed. I'm going to tell you, Nicole, I got a lot of pushback from our side. I mean, from our people. Not forget about, like, we're not even talking. We try not to waste too much time on the Trump deranged, right? I'm talking about our team. I'm talking about people that voted for Trump, and they are like wondering if everything's going the way it should with the reforms. Can I pass this off to you, because I have a lot of faith in Dan and I have a lot of faith in Kash.
Right, I do too. I do too, and I can tell you, having worked there. And I've seen things firsthand, and I've talked to you about it on your program. There really were two FBIs. There was FBI 1, the people that were just trying to do honest, good, hard work, protecting the American people, uphold the Constitution in a fair and unbiased manner. And then there was FBI 2, those that politically and socially weaponized the FBI, starting at the very top in high-level positions at the Bureau, and it trickled down all the way down to support staff-level members in different field offices. So I'm telling you straight up, there are such good people. I work shoulder to shoulder with them, and they're sacrificing a lot to serve our country. But there are a lot of not good people that were at the FBI as well. And I have to tell you that a problem like that, it did not start overnight, and it's not going to be solved overnight either. And so for Dan and Kash to get in there and work as hard as they have in just a few months, I am impressed. And I understand that people like to see results. We're in a world where we want immediate satisfaction. We want to see things now. But the reality of the situation is it takes time. And if you're going to solve the problem properly, there's a lot to dig into, and it does take time. What you don't see on the outside, and having worked there, personnel matters, for example, at the FBI, are kept very confidential. HR matters, personnel matters, movements of individuals, accountability, tangible consequences. Very rarely do you hear about that in the public eye. Doesn't mean that it's not happening behind the scenes. And so to give them full credit for their efforts, I do want to say that we're going to need to be patient. But it doesn't mean, because we're not seeing immediate results, that it's not happening. And I think it is fair to give them some time to fix a problem. In my opinion, I saw it start in 2016. So we're talking almost 10 years of things that never were resolved. Jim Comey was fired. Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
So Jim Comey was fired, obviously, in May of 2017. Christopher Wray came in as the next director. And I can tell you, as FBI agents, were hoping, please, Director Wray, please clean up this place. He did not. He did not clean up that place. So it festered for that many more years, and now they're coming in trying to clean up stuff that happened over 10 years ago.
Well, I was going to say, I know, and I haven't been in the agency, CIA, for now 15 years, because I've been doing media, but just based on my 5 years there and what I saw during the War on Terror, which was, I would say, the absolute peak of the agency's sense of mission, cohesion, and everything else. But already, because I stayed through the beginning of the Obama administration, you could see some of these pieces coming into place where, oh, this is getting real political. The notion that as much faith as I have in Tulsi as DNI, and as much, I don't really know Ratcliffe at all. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I've never met him. I don't know what his deal is, but Trump has faith in him, so that's a good, that's a good start, I think. But I know Tulsi, and as much faith as I have in her in the DNI, the notion that she'd be able to fix the intel community by May of 2025, taking the job 2-3 months ago it's preposterous, right? So that's kind of for anyone's like, well, how would you know what's going on in the FBI? Speaking to me, not speaking to you. I just say, well, I know that you can't fix the CIA in 90 days, guys. So my sense is the FBI, it might even be a little bit worse. I don't know. I mean, tough to compare these two. It's like comparing Fauci and Comey as the worst public servants ever.
Right. So let me give you one example of, things that you may not have seen on the outside, but as an internal FBI employee, the social weaponization at the FBI was completely off the rails. I support all different people from all different backgrounds. That is not the issue. The issue that I had at the FBI is that it seemed that they were more focused on social issues than they were of the core mission of fighting crime. And so just yesterday, and this is on Fox News, there is an article out that an email was sent out to FBI employees yesterday regarding upcoming Pride Month. And under the Biden administration, it was constant. The social discussions, the clubs, the meetings, the groups, there were like 19 different social type of clubs at the FBI. That is not the mission of the FBI. When I signed up to be an FBI agent, that's not what I signed on to do. That was not part of upholding the Constitution and protecting the American people. So, for example, this year, they are saying, look, we respect people of all different walks of life, but we will not be having official Pride Month activities at the FBI. We respect whatever your, decisions in life are, but you can do that on your own time, not on FBI time, and not on taxpayer dollars. That in and of itself is a huge shift from what I saw, especially in my last several years at the FBI. So again, it might seem small or insignificant to the American people, but I can tell you as an FBI agent, when you were constantly getting emails about all these social justice warrior clubs at the agency instead of the actual mission and fighting crime, it became overwhelming. Anything other than the core mission is a dangerous distraction, in my opinion, and that move in and of itself saying, going forward, we're going to focus on the core mission, and you can do your social justice stuff in your own time, that in and of itself is huge. So that's just one small example, but there are many examples. And one other thing that I really love about what Kash and Dan are doing, transparency. They are telling the American people as much as they possibly can. And there was nothing more frustrating to me when I would watch Christopher Wray testify before Congress, and every answer, he just never answered anything. And same with Jim Comey. These guys, they're out there saying as much as they possibly can to inform the American people. And again, we have to respect that there are confidential things at the FBI and investigations that are ongoing that would jeopardize the case to discuss. But the fact that they're releasing constantly new documentation to Congress, they're putting it out there, this Epstein question, they both came out very frankly and said, Epstein committed suicide. We have video. He was by himself. Things like that Americans have wondered that no other FBI director has come out and said as blatantly and directly as they have.
Can I give you some of these? Can I get you to react to some of the specifics? Because we have some recent Kash statements made on Fox. Director Patel. This is cut 9, guys. Specifically, I think people want to know about FBI informants. This has been talked about. Tucker's been pounding this drum for years because there's a lot of smoke. FBI informants in that crowd on January 6th. This is what Kash said. Play 9.
Former FBI Director Chris Wray eventually admitted to Congress there were 26 FBI confidential human sources in around the Capitol January 6th, but not actual agents. Can you say that's true? Are there more than that? What you're learning from that?
I can say that is definitely a piece of the truth.
And eventually everybody's going to know the whole picture.
Yeah, because the American people deserve that.
He says the American people deserve the whole picture. Now, my question for you, I've known Kash for years. I know Kash, right? I have no doubt that is his desire to get to that place where we know the full picture. My question for you, Nicole, is knowing the infrastructure and the internal workings of the FBI, Could they have already kind of made stuff disappear? A lot goes on in the CIA that's spoken, written down on a piece of paper, especially in the abroad places. Is it within his power at this point to get us the whole picture about what the FBI and Jan 6, what the involvement was?
Based on that quote, I believe that he is going to give you as much information as he possibly can, and it sounds like there is information coming. So people talk about things disappearing. One thing I did find very interesting is in the interview that Dan did on Fox and Friends, he talked about a room that, all of this information that had not been known to anybody was presented to them, and they're going through it now, and there were certain things that hadn't been digitized, things like that. I think, again, they always say, don't trust us, just watch the results. But I'm going to tell you, things move slowly, and not because they want it to move slowly, because it has to be done perfectly and articulately and properly, and that is the way that they're going to gain the trust of the American people. Just saying whatever they can say whenever, no. It's got to be proper. But again, I think it takes time, and I don't blame the American people. I can tell you as an FBI employee, I myself didn't always trust the FBI. There were a lot of people in what I refer to as FBI 1 that really didn't trust the FBI. The FBI has to regain the trust of the employees, first and foremost, and the American people. Because at the end of the day, the FBI is for the American people. The American people, you are the boss. The taxpayers are the boss to the FBI. And there was a little bit of a culture there that they always talked about needs of the Bureau. No, it's not needs of the Bureau. It's needs of the American people and the needs of the victims. And I really love that Kash and Dan have that mentality where they're shifting the culture and the mindset of the FBI from needs of the Bureau to needs of the American people.
Give me a sense, Nicole, if somebody asked me in the CIA during the War on Terror years, I know you were at the Bureau during the GWAT too, right? But during the War on Terror years, what percentage of case officers politically would I estimate, and this is obviously just perception, right? What I estimate, I feel like it would be 70% or, 70% of them right of center, maybe 75% right of center, at least on the GWAT issues. And then if it was analysts, I would say it was 75% in the other direction, meaning 75% more left wing, more Democrat, and so there was very clear, even within the agency, different cultures. I want to know from you for the FBI, field agents who are actually the ones putting the cuffs on people and everything else. What percentage of them were about serving the people versus serving the Bureau?
Okay, so again, I'm going to just say FBI 1 versus FBI 2. FBI 1, the people that are there to serve the people, uphold the Constitution in a fair and unbiased manner. Again, I don't know every single FBI agent. I can just tell you the overarching general thought. When I first joined the Bureau in 2010, I would definitely say it was more conservative. As time went on and the FBI was shifting their recruiting efforts and shifting what they were looking for, even in...
It's always HR. All the communism starts in HR.
Well, it's really the shift and focus on the diversity program that Obama really started heavy in the federal government, and that definitely trickled into the FBI. I would say that the culture definitely did change from the time that I had joined till the time that I left, but I would agree that, just in my experience, the agents, those that are actually putting the handcuffs on, enforcing the laws, doing the arrests, they tend to be more right-leaning, maybe. And again, that's a generalization.
Okay.
And you're right, support staff, analysts, things like that.
To me, the FBI should be, and Nicole, we got to leave it here, but the FBI, in my mind, given the realities of the left and the right these days, if it's not 80-20 right-left, we got a big problem. So we got a lot of work to do over at the FBI. We need a lot of people to make sure they see the Constitution, the rule of law and order as their priority, and not Trans Day of Visibility, which is celebrated at the CIA, by the way, I might say. It's like an actual celebration.
Yeah, those days at the FBI are over. But you know what I want? I want Lady Justice to be blind, and I just want the truth. I don't really care who you vote for. I want you to leave your political persuasions at the front door. I want you to walk into the door of the FBI and do your job in a fair and unbiased manner, protect the American people, and uphold the Constitution. And I believe that is the goal of Kash and Dan as well. And I think that they are working diligently and working hard. Let's give them some time. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They are cleaning up a huge mess. And so
Nicole Parker of the, Nicole Parker, formerly of the FBI and Fox News. Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Father's Day is 3 weeks away. My first one, and I couldn't be more excited to celebrate. I don't want any gifts. I've already got the best one imaginable, my little son, James Speed. But if you're looking for a gift idea for dad, I've got a great suggestion for you, the Cardia Mobile 6L. This is the world's first FDA-cleared personal EKG that you can carry in your pocket. It's the perfect way for your dad to manage his heart health between doctor visits. Easy to use and records right to his phone. He gets 6 views of his heart. That's 6 times the data of any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. The Cardia Mobile 6L can detect AFib, a leading cause of stroke. Give the gift of peace of mind for the dads in your life or even for yourself. And now for a limited time, Cardia is giving 10% off to you. Just go to cardia.com. That's KARDIA.com. You can also find it on Amazon. If you go that route, be sure to include Clay's name, and I do mean Clay's name in the discount code. That code is, write this one down if you can. If you're driving, play this back in the playback. Code is 106L Clay. Okay, the code, we know, 106L Clay, and that number is, you'll get 10% off, so it's really worth putting that in. Cardia Mobile 6L. Use code Clay to get 10% off your order for your Cardia Mobile 6L in times for Father's Day. You can also go to clayandbuck.com and click on Cardia on our sponsor page.